What up, guys? Your boy Quake back with a brand new episode of the Diverse Mentality Podcast, number 352. And yes, this will be the last episode before I head overseas to take care of some personal stuff that I've got going on. I'm going to be there for roughly, I want to say 10 days. I don't know exactly. I've never really checked the days, but somewhere between 10 days to 9 to 11 days, somewhere around there, right? I will be out. I leave Tuesday night, so I get there Wednesday. We'll be there up until I think I come back here that following week of Thursday. So yeah, roughly 10 days, not counting the days that you're flying there and coming back. So 10 days, 9 days, something like that. So it'll go by pretty quick, but I will be missing 3 episodes because I'll be missing Thursday's episode, Monday's episode, and another Thursday episode because I come back, I think, on that Thursday. If I can make a recording, or maybe I come back Friday, I don't really know 100%, but if I can make a recording on that Thursday, it would be really late. It would be, pushed back. So it's not going to, 3 episodes is what I'm going to miss. It's unfortunate. I know it sucks as I'm getting momentum, as I'm finally starting to record the podcast. I got to go do that, but it's something that I have to handle. So it is what it is. But there's a lot to talk about right now, and I'm going to actually try to record an episode over there if I can. The apartment that I'm at doesn't have internet at all. We've never set up internet there. So I'm going to see if maybe my phone can be a hotspot for me to do stuff, to do like the podcast and record something. It's not going to be as good quality, or, it's going to be pretty much me using, AirPod microphones or the laptop's microphone. So I'm going to try and mess around and see if I can, but more than likely 80% chance it's not going to happen. But there's a lot of news, and a lot of this episode is going to be dedicated to Young Thug once again. He's had more leaked audio calls. He actually did an interview with Big Bank for roughly 3 hours, and he cried in that interview about his relationship with Young Thug and the people that have turned on him. So there's a lot of different stuff. There's William Roberts, a.k.a. Rick Ross, calling my documentary cap on 50 Cent's, when I just dropped the documentary of 50 Cent, potentially making over $100 million off of his worst-selling album, Animal Ambition. And this is all speculation, of course. So I posted that thumbnail on my Instagram page, and William Roberts, the police officer, decided to comment cap on it. For some reason, this guy is obsessed with anything related to 50 Cent, and he's obsessed with commenting on my Diverse Mentality page, and he doesn't even follow the page. So I don't know what his obsession is with just hating on 50, but yeah, he commented on it. He said cap. So I'm going to address all the cap in his career. So I'm gonna break that down for Rose here, and we'll see, if he responds to that, because he ignored my correctional officer thing. He ignored that video, and that got a shit ton of views. It went viral on Twitter. It got over 2 to 3 million impressions. So clearly he saw it. He just never addressed it, which is hilarious. But yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit later. But first, let's get into some news. Then I'll get into the Rick Ross stuff, and then we'll get into the whole Young Thug thing, because there's a lot of the Young Thug stuff. But first, let's talk about Keefe D. Apparently, he got into some fighting incident, and he's probably going to be facing more time. So let's go over the article. Keefe D. has been sentenced to 16 to 40 months behind bars after getting into a fight with another inmate in December 2024, as he awaited trial for his alleged role in the killing of Tupac. He and the other person allegedly exchanged blows before guards could use pepper spray to put an end to the scuffle. Keefe heard the sentence in court on Tuesday. While appearing in court for the incident, he described it as a setup. He explained, "This is wrong. I got attacked. My parents brought me up to protect yourself, and that's all I was doing. Protecting myself. This is totally wrong." He will get credit for 224 days served since he was charged for the fight. As for the killing of Tupac, Keefe D's trial was recently delayed from March 2025 to February 2026. His lawyers had requested the delay in order to further prepare their case and conduct more witness interviews. Prosecutors have accused him of allegedly organizing the drive-by shooting that resulted in the legendary rapper's death back in 1996 in Las Vegas. Authorities originally arrested him in 2023. He has already pleaded not guilty to the charge. And as of recording today, the podcast, which is September 7th, it is the anniversary, which is kind of a weird thing to say, but it technically is, of the fatal shooting of Tupac's that night that he got shot in Las Vegas. He didn't die that night, but that was the night that the shooting happened on this date. Also, happy birthday to Eazy-E as well. This is the same day he was born, which is interesting in itself. But yeah, we'll keep our eyes posted. He definitely got more time, which sucks, but his main concern is the Tupac situation. If he gets sentenced to that, it's over. He's going to be facing for the rest of his life in prison. He's already old. He's already facing health issues. So it's just going to be bad overall. But we'll keep our eyes posted. Dame Dash, I ain't a pocket watcher, right? But hey, man, it's news. I don't wish bad on anyone when it comes to finances because it is a horrible situation to be in, especially when you are running your own business. It is very hard. I've had my ups and downs this year in particular. Financially, I haven't done really that good. I've been struggling my own self. So, everybody has their good years, their bad years, and this just happens to be a lot of bad for Damon Dash when it comes to finances. He is filing for Chapter 7 bankruptcy in Florida. So let's go over the article. Dame Dash has reportedly filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy in Florida, according to a news report from All Hip Hop's Grouchy Greg Watkins. The Rockefeller Records co-founder has over $25 million in debts related to unpaid taxes, child support, legal judgments, and more. The outlet notes that documents show Dame submitted a 56-page petition to the U.S. Bankruptcy Court for the Middle District of Florida on Thursday. In doing so, he opened up to having just $4,350 in personal property. The full breakdown shows he owes millions in New York, New Jersey, and Los Angeles. On top of that, having $647,000 in unpaid child and spousal support, which he owes to his ex-wife, Rachel Roy, as well as Cindy Morales. There's also filmmaker Josh Weber, who won a $4 million judgment against him from a lawsuit over the film Dear Frank. The troubles for Dame Dash aren't only financial. In a recent interview caught by Victor Baez, Dame revealed that he had to get eye surgery and is losing his teeth due to diabetes. I had to remove liquid that's in my eye because I'm diabetic. You can diabetes shame me if you want. They had to take the gel out. I didn't want to start doing this bullshit to take losses again until I got my new teeth. But it was so complicated, we're finally dealing with it. I'm not going to sit up here and rip my teeth all day. Fuck all that. I don't care. Get your jokes. But know that right now I'm in my dentist's office and tomorrow I'm getting surgery. Yeah, there's like a video clip of him doing an interview where he's got like a patch on one of his eyes and he's essentially struggling to speak because, he's having teeth issues as well. Diabetes is a huge problem. But, he owes a lot of money. I mean, we're talking millions upon millions. And I have the breakdown here. We posted on Diverse Mentality Instagram page. So the breakdown here is his reported possessions are $500 worth of clothes, 2 guns, $2,500 worth of jewelry, and 1 cell phone. His monthly expenses is $5,200. His reported debt is over $4 million to Josh Weber, $650,000 domestic support, which is child support, all that. $9.6 million to New York and unpaid taxes, $3.5 million to New Jersey, and $5.8 million to California, which is insane. And people, what's when we posted this, the comments were like, "Oh, what's wrong with filing bankruptcy?" A lot of people do it, right? There's differences, and I don't know how people don't understand this, especially after the 50 Cent situation, because a lot of people threw things out at 50 when he filed bankruptcy. But there's a difference between filing Chapter 7 and Chapter 11. Chapter 11 means you still got money. You're rich. You're just figuring out a way. You're basically coming up with a payment plan for whatever debt or whatever lawsuit or whatever is going on that you have to pay a lot of. And that's what 50 Cent filed. 50 Cent had lawsuits from Rick Ross's ex-baby mama. I think for initially it was like she was awarded $8 million, but because of the bankruptcy thing, it went down to $6 million. The SMS Audio, which is Sleek Audio, they ended up suing because of the technology. They were awarded like 20-something million. That went down to like 14 million. So 50 did that bankruptcy to basically pay a lot less than he would have paid if he didn't file bankruptcy, which is a smart thing to do. It doesn't really matter. Chapter 11 bankruptcy doesn't really mean you're broke. It just means, hey, I don't have this lump sum of money in liquid right now to pay this. And liquid means like cash. You might have money in stocks or you might have money in companies, but if you don't have it in your bank account liquid, then you can't really pay all that debt off. So that's what 50 was filing. Chapter 7 means you're legitimately broke. Like you need to close everything down. You have no money. And that's what he filed. He filed Chapter 7. And I don't think taxes goes away from that. So he's probably going to get cleared of all those other things, child support maybe. I don't know. I don't know what gets cleared in Chapter 7. I know business stuff gets cleared, like that $4 million lawsuit that he got for that movie. That's probably going to get cleared. But taxes, I don't think taxes go away 100%. when it comes to even if you file bankruptcies. So there's a difference. And then people also mentioned Donald Trump. If you look at all of his bankruptcies, they're all Chapter 11. They're not Chapter 7. There's differences in bankruptcies. There's actually more chapters, but those are the main two that most people go through. It's either Chapter 7 or Chapter 11. Chapter 7 means, hey, I'm broke. I'm shutting things down. I can't pay anything off. I'm starting from scratch, zero. Chapter 11, I'm restructuring things. I can't afford this lump sum of stuff that I owe, but I can pay it in payment plans at a lower amount. And there's a difference. But, unfortunately, people on the internet, they've never had, it's good if you don't file bankruptcy, obviously, but they've never had to deal with a lot of finances and business. And, there's a lot of shit that goes to this. And I've been learning as the years go on. There's a lot that goes to this. Unfortunately, when you got someone who's just working a regular job, I'm not like dissing anybody that's working a regular job. I'm just saying you don't know those things. You don't know all the ins and outs of business and the types of different taxes you got to deal with, employment and employees and all this shit. There's a lot that goes with it. So I'm not saying this to clown Dame Dash. I'm not saying it. I'm only reporting on it because it's news. It's all over the place. And to be honest, man, he shitted on a lot of people saying, I'm my own boss. You put up your own money, you're your own boss. Well, when things don't go right, you're filing bankruptcy and you're having issues. A lot of people, when we posted this news report too, commented that why doesn't Jay-Z help him? I mean, I don't know, man. That's between them. Jay-Z doesn't really have to help anybody at the end of the day. So who knows what happened between them, really deeply what happened between them. Dame Dash doesn't want to talk about it. But Dame Dash, he still is an interesting figure. Like, he's trending right now with Cameron and going back and forth with people. Like, he could easily, build his own platform up where he's doing interviews where he's, and he can get paid for those interviews and he can make a decent living. Obviously, it's not what he used to make in his prime, but I mean, just off of the name Dame Dash, he can make at least $300,000 to $500,000 a year. Doing it right, doing proper interviews, building his brand up, and stuff like that. Because that name still holds, like, he's tied to Jay-Z for 10 plus years. So that name still holds weight. Just off that, he could at least make a good amount of living. Even if he doesn't make $300,000, $100,000 a year off of just interviews is better than 99% of people. So everybody goes through hardships, finances. So it makes no sense when people clown on people like this, but it is a shitty situation for him. But we'll see what happens moving forward. All right, I'm going to review a little bit of this Drake ICEMAN 3 episode. It premiered, I think, Friday night, and it was like almost, I think it was 2 hours, roughly over an hour and 30 minutes, 100%. Almost 2 hours, potentially 2 hours. And it was essentially Pinocchios running around like booty bandits. That's really what the whole episode was about. It was these Pinocchio guys walking around like they're about to booty rape somebody. They sit at this table that says legacy with like red written on it, with ice that they put on these plates. It's just all stupid. It's all a waste of fucking time. I'm tired of watching it because I have to watch it to review it, to talk about it. It is horrible. The music in this episode is terrible. Terrible. I'm being nice when I say that. It is terrible. I don't know what it is, but Drake has like lost, especially with this rollout, has lost his sound. He's not that Drake anymore. And the proof is in the charts. What did I miss? That's the first track that got premiered, came out. The first half of the record, I love. Sounds amazing. The second half, I don't. Debuted at number 2, I think, potentially. Somewhere around there in the top 300%. Debuted at number 2, I think. And then slowly started falling off. Then he does episode 2 and drops the record with Central C, Which One. That performs horribly. I mean, it's about to fall off the charts right now. It like debuted at number 20-something, which is like just horrible for a Drake single that's being pushed as a single. Horrible performance. The song is horrible. That song just came and went, right? I listened to it maybe 3-4 times just to make sure that, I'm not just like judging this song and being like, oh, it's bad off the jump. I'm actually trying to listen to it. Trash. Now episode 3 comes out and Drake's driving around in this old school car in Italy and he previews the song and it starts out really good. I'm like, damn, this is it. This is that Drake timestamp Drake that's like that, that the bars where he's rapping like he's just talking. The great shit, right? Starts out like that. I'm like, this is amazing. I can't wait to listen to this. Then here comes the beat switch, and it sounds like something for a fucking 14-year-old. The music, his voice, like he just sounds horrible. It is a horrible song. He is catering to teenagers, which after the pedophile thing is not the best route to go, Drake. Let's just say that. It's just not a good sound. It is not good music. Then he like goes around and he makes another record with Yeet, which, you know, I didn't mind the record he had on For All the Dogs. It was pretty good. It was not bad. But these songs are horrible. He previews another track with the Yeet. It sounds horrible. The music just sounds bad. And this might be Drake's worst performing album if he goes this route. He receives legitimate backlash from Drake fans. Kai Cenat says, horrible, I wasted my time. William Roberts, a.k.a. Rick Ross, jumps in and clowns him, which is funny coming from that guy because he hasn't dropped anything relevant in a long-ass time. But who else, man? A lot of people just react to it and like, this is horrible. This is not good. And what's funny is what comes out is literally like 2-3 days later, Adam Ross says, oh, those Drake songs aren't going to be on the final album. You want to know why they're not on the final album? Because of that shitty backlash he got. Because he's testing these records and they're not doing well. That's what he's doing with these streams. You know, and he's trying to put these subliminal messages and have people think about stuff. Like he's trying to take the Kendrick Lamar route that everybody was going with Kendrick. Now he's doing it himself and trying to put these little messages with these Pinocchios running around like booty bandits. And it's horrible. It is not good. I don't want to sit there and watch a 2-hour episode with stills for 10 minutes of areas, nothing being said, Drake walking around in random rooms holding a bag, and at the end, the booty bandits, the Pinocchio booty bandits, get there and actually get to Drake and potentially booty bandit him. It's just horrible. It is horrible. I hope episode 4 doesn't come out. I hope he just drops the album. I'm tired of seeing this shit, and he's executing it horribly. It's not interesting. First episode was cool because it's something fresh, new. Second episode, I was like, all right, this is like, what are we doing here? Third episode, you're just stretching it out and just drop the fucking album. This is not executed well. Pusha T and Clips did it way better. They did it the old school way, which I think was more engaging and intriguing. This is just not good, man. The music is not sounding good. I hope ICEMAN was supposed to be this album to me. And I hate this about certain artists because they have horrible timing on execution on albums. It's the same shit with 50 Cent. When he was gearing to drop Curtis, I expected because you named your album your personal name, we're going to get more of a personal album. Instead, it wasn't that. Curtis wasn't that. Then you do Before I Self-Destruct. I'm expecting with that title, you're going to get more personal. He fails on that too. I'm like, why have these titles and execute poorly on them? Same with ICEMAN. Drake, you just got out of a battle, which you admitted you fucked up to last summer. You got cooked. You're naming your album ICEMAN. To me, the way I view that album title is I'm going to be cold-hearted. Fuck this. Like, I'm going to go in. I'm going to be cold to this. I'm going to be cold to this. And just go in. And the problem with Drake is he's having like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It's like he's subliminally dissing people and saying, oh, look how they turned on me and shit. But then he's like, nah, I'm going to rap about other stuff. And no, like if you're going to talk about what happened in 2024 with the Battle of Kendrick, just go all in. Mention names, go all in, and just go in. Call it ICEMAN and say, fuck everybody. Y'all turn on me, fuck y'all. Just go in. Don't have 1 foot out, 1 foot in. It's corny. Because then at this point, you're milking the situation just to get people's attention to watch these streams. That's it. That's what this whole thing is about. Doing these subliminal messages, he's milking, people getting intrigued by these subliminal messages. That's what he's milking. He sees that all these people are breaking down these subliminal messages from hip-hop content creators to tweeters and all this stuff, and he's milking that. And the content is horrible. I don't want to see these episodes anymore. Unfortunately, I will have to watch because it's just my job to do so, but I wouldn't watch these. To be honest with you, if I was somebody like you who's just a fan of hip-hop, doesn't have a job in it, don't even watch them. They're boring. They waste your time. You could do something way better for 2 hours. Just get the highlights on Twitter and social media and from the podcast right here. And that's it. And there's really nothing else in this that's really worth talking about. The music is not good. Yeah, man, that's my take on it. I think, it's going to be really interesting to see, how this album does, man. Because if these songs are on the album, it is going to be a bad album. And I don't know how this guy's almost 40 years old trying to cater to like a younger audience. Like, get away from that a little bit, man. Maybe have a song or maybe 2 songs. But a lot of this music is just catering to, and I hate the beat switches, man. I'm tired. Can we stop this trend of beat switches in the middle of songs? Like, are we this fucking, do we have this low of attention span that we can't listen to a song for 3 minutes with the same beat? Is this what's going on in society today? Because I don't get it. Why are we having these beat switches on every fucking song? Can we just have a song with the same fucking beat for 3 minutes? Is that too much to ask for? But anyways, that's my take on it, and we'll see what happens moving forward. But it's a shitty episode, shitty music right now. It's just not good, man. It's not good. And I'm telling you, Drake, if you're watching, I'm telling you the brutal, honest truth. I'm not sugarcoating thing. I'm a big fan of you. I listen to a lot of your music. I think you're one of the best ever in music. This is horrible, though. This is trash. So adjust it, fix it, because this ain't it. Now I want to talk about Rick Ross commenting on my documentary that I dropped. If you don't know, I dropped how 50 Cent made over $100 million using Bitcoin off his worst selling album. And on that video, there's a lot of speculation. There is some proof, some evidence. There is some speculation. And so I dropped that image on Instagram, and it started doing really well. And, people started commenting, liking all this stuff. And out of nowhere, Rick Ross comments on it. And this guy has like an obsession with 50. And he doesn't even follow my page, Diverse Mentality. He just randomly comments. We did a Hot Rod interview where there's a clip where Hot Rod talks about 50 calling him and telling him to quit his job and go work, make music with him. We did that interview, and then when we posted that clip, Rick Ross commented laughing at it, which is trolling. And then now I do this, I drop an image of that video, and he comments in all caps, cap. He calls it basically a lie. If you don't know what cap means, you're basically saying you're lying. Well, this is my response to William Roberts, a.k.a. Rick Ross. Was it cap when 50 Cent was in the top 5 of the highest grossing hip-hop tours of all time, making over $100 million? Is that cap? Can you do that? You know what's real and not cap? You opening up for the Bow Wow Millennium Tour. That's what's real and not cap. You can't even do your own tours right now. Because ain't nobody checking for Ross. Ross don't got any classics. That's the difference. 50 has classics that he could do a 20, 30-year-old tour after the album came out and do $100 million a show. You can't even fill out 5,000 people. I can't wait till the Port of Miami 20-year anniversary comes up. I can't wait. I want to see you do a tour. Right now, Jeezy's doing Thug Motivation 101, and he's doing great. Let's see you do Port of Miami 20-year anniversary. Let's see how that does tour-wise. Let's see if you even get close to $100 million. You won't, because 50's on a whole different level. Matter of fact, is it cap that 50 did your whole career on one album when it comes to sales? We ain't even talking about Get Rich or Die Trying, because I know what people are going to say. Oh, Get Rich or Die Trying is the only album. No, we'll talk about The Massacre, second album. That album in America right now is 6 million records sold in America. What does Rick Ross have for album sales? He's got one album, Port of Miami. That's the only platinum album he's got, which sold 1 million copies. And it took album streams getting added for that to sell 1 million copies. He's got that, and he's got 3 other albums that went gold. That's 500,000 sold. That's 2.5 million copies from 2006 to 2025. We're talking 19 years, and you only sold 2.5 million albums. That's it. Is that cap? Reality is you ain't got classics like that. You ain't got a classic like Get Rich. You ain't got a classic like The Massacre. You ain't got world-renowned tours where you can go the whole globe and sell out arenas. You can't do that. Right now, do a tour. I bet you that shit won't sell out. I bet you'll barely do any numbers. And that's the difference between 50 Cent and you. 50 Cent is an icon. You are Diddy's artist. You got hot because Diddy stood next to you and started pushing you and doing those Diddy dances. And, you were close with Diddy. And now look where Diddy's at. Reality is, you're not that artist. Was it cap when the MMG chain got taken and never got brought back? You never got that chain back. It did a whole world tour. It ended up in a music video. Was it cap? Hey, where's that chain, man? The chain got took and you never did anything about it. Was that cap? You know what is cap? Your rap career. How are you a correctional officer, but then rapping about being the biggest drug dealer ever? I know Noriega. Don't know real Noriega. He owe me 100 favors, Rose. Come on, man. Your whole career is cap. You're a correctional officer talking about being the biggest drug dealer ever. You know what else is cap? That name, Rick Ross. That ain't even in your name. That's crazy. You took an identity of another man and ran with it. Your name is William Roberts, not Rick Ross. The real Rick Ross from California, his real name, government name is Rick Ross. Got out of prison and said, hey, what's going on? There's a rapper that blew up with my identity, with my story, with my name. You know what you did? You denied it. You said, nah, I didn't do that. Same with the correctional officer stuff. You denied it. You know what's crazy with the correctional officer stuff is when it first got revealed, you denied it. You said, nah, that ain't me. It took a while for you to finally admit it until you can come up with a story to lie and say something. That's cap. Your career is cap.
Trick Daddy recently accused you of working as a prison guard at one point, Rick. Is there any truth to that?
No, that's not true.
And nobody's got a problem with you being a CO, but all you had to do is not deny it. Just be like, hey, man, that was me. That's where I got my connects. That's where things happen. 9-to-5 job that I had. What you going to do about it? What you going to say about it? But nah, you moved around the question because you knew it was embarrassing. You even knew this shit was not real. Come on, man. Come on. And if you want to talk about numbers and cap and this and that, you're not going to sell out no arenas, no tours like that. Your biggest album has 400 million streams on Spotify. 50's biggest album's at 6 billion. Repeat that, billion streams.
For that, we went and checked the scoreboard. You know what I mean? We running the numbers up high. You underdig?
What's cap? You tell me. Your cap. The whole career you had is cap. Story you had is cap. The name, cap. Everything, cap. Anyways, that's all I got to say for William. I'm going to keep it at that. It's ironic he said cap, but there's so many things he's got cap. And there's so many things that 50 don't got that's cap. But yeah, that's it. Let's talk about this Young Thug calls. And first, I want to talk about the game. So the game talks about the Young Thug situation on his Instagram. And he makes a valid point. He said, leaking people's recorded phone calls and voice notes is the new snitching. Ain't no real guys left in this shit. And I think he has somewhat of a valid point, right? Recording private phone call conversations, but he was locked up. So these are recorded conversations in prison. Every conversation is recorded in prison. That's just the reality situation. So it's not like somebody recorded it that was talking with him. At least I hope not. But leaking them out and buying that information and trying to put it out there, that is some snake shit. That's some snitching shit. That's weird. And I get it, just to try to tarnish somebody's image. Maybe it's Gunna, maybe it's somebody on the other side that doesn't like Young Thug. I get that, but overall, it's not a good look. If it comes out that it is Gunna, I don't know, how would people react to that? What would people say? Now this guy is leaking, recorded phone calls, and he already took the stand, and it's not a good look. So I kind of agree to a certain extent with Game with that, but let's talk about these phone calls, man. There's a lot more information. There's a lot more stuff. And the first thing I want to talk about is Young Thug talks about, he basically reveals what he thinks is the falling out between Metro Boomin and Drake. And it's a really, really interesting conversation. And for once in these leaked phone calls, Young Thug sounds like logical, like very logical and very, making sense in the situation, right? So first, let's play the clip, and then I'm going to talk about it after.
No, they didn't speak about I wonder how he said it because his vibe was.
But I'm saying how I don't understand how anybody could approach him about music right now. So that's why I'm just saying it ain't men I could even think to say. Even if I be like, bro, it's really just about supporting me, bro, and just trying to get us out and just get us back with y'all and just woo. But it's like your mama dead, so it's like she ain't never coming back. Like nigga, F Thug trying to get out of jail, nigga, what? Nigga ain't even in the right headspace. Nigga trying to hurt themselves. You think a nigga what? You think a nigga finna tell Drake, man, I don't like that. No, I ain't clean it. You think a nigga finna tell Drake that he told Drake that he meant it.
Right.
If you said Drake this, you meant it. And Drake so stupid, he probably just sent the stupidest condolences like, yeah, bro, sorry for moms, and you know I'm here for you, bro, whatever you need. Just like something stupid. Instead of giving a nigga some wisdom of something real, you probably should have said some crazy stuff on the phone, which is he's still genuine, you know what I'm saying? But you probably said something like that, and then you come right back 2-3 weeks later like, yo, let me get this song.
Right.
Instead of, you know, like doing the whole real procedure, calling a nigga every single day, calling a nigga every day, just figuring it out, getting with a nigga. Like, hey, where you at? I'm gonna get on the plane and come chill with you, bro. Like, you using the fact that you Drake as a weapon now, and the nigga just not feeling that right now, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Like, you supposed to get on your big old plane and went to where a nigga was, when a nigga mama died, because you really mess with a nigga. So you supposed to get on your plane and went to where a nigga was. Where you at, bro? You in Atlanta? I'll be there tonight. Like, nigga, I'm coming to chill with you a week straight, whatever. Because if I was out of jail, I would definitely be with Metro Boomin probably right now. Or I probably right now just be leaving them. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it ain't even about music right now. It's just like so much.
All right. So if you're confused about what's going on, basically, Drake wanted to put this song called Trance on his Honestly Nevermind album. This is in 2022. And Trance was Metro's song, and Drake wanted it for his album. Metro basically was like, I'm not in the right mind space to be talking about music. By the way, his mother got murdered. It wasn't like she passed away of old age or something like that. Like the husband of her husband killed her and then killed himself. So it's like a tragic event, right? And being somebody who just lost a parent earlier this year, with my dad, this resonates with me a lot, right? It just happened to me earlier this year, and it was through cancer. It was a tragic event too. He didn't die of old age, it's cancer. And the issue that happened was that Drake, sent his condolences to Metro Boomin for what happened, and then 3 weeks later hits him up about music. And it's like, hey, can I get that record? What's going on? Now you got to think, after a parent like that dies tragically, the last thing on your mind is music. Drake sent his condolences, which is great when it happened. Obviously, they're friends. Why wouldn't he? But you have to really tread lightly after something serious like that happens to someone's life, because some people, they don't want to mourn. They don't want to grieve. They just want to do the funeral and move on and work and do whatever. There are people like that. That's what Young Thug says on the call. Like, if it would have been me, this is what I would have done. But he's like, I can't put myself in Metro Boomin's shoes because I ain't lose a parent like that. So it is hard to put yourself in the shoes of somebody that loses a parent as well. My friend had his dad pass away of the same thing, the same type of cancer. I couldn't really understand and register it until it happened to me. It's a whole different thing until it happens to you. You look at it way differently. So I understand 100% where Metro Boomin's coming from. It takes time for people to mourn and grieve. Some people, hey, after the funeral, they're done, they're ready to work. And Drake is a workhorse, so to him, it's just about music, it's about working. In the phone call, Young Thug also says, like, you should have buttered him up. And what he means by that is, like, basically, slowly approach Metro about the music. Take it in a slow, not just be like, hey, where's the music? Let's get it done. Because Metro at this time, 3 weeks isn't a lot of time. And I know it sounds like a lot of time after a death happens. But for me personally, my dad died January 2nd of this year, 2025. Those weeks went by so quick. Before I know it, it was end of February. I didn't even remember what happened, because it's a tragic event. Your brain, all the days just become crunched together and time flies, man. Before I knew it, end of February, I was like, damn, I haven't done anything work-wise. And that's when I started working on the Drake versus Kendrick Lamar documentary, and I started getting back to work. But it took me roughly a month and a half to get back to somewhat normal. You're not back to normal because that forever changes you, but you try to get back to normal life as much as you can. So 3 weeks is not enough time. At least for me personally, wouldn't be. Clearly for Metro, it's not. And for a lot of people, it's not a lot of time. But, Drake probably didn't understand that. And maybe, it depends on how Drake approached the situation, because maybe Drake was saying, hey, maybe I can get you out of the slump if we can work on some music together and we can make something happen and get your mind off, what happened to your mom. That's another approach that maybe Drake had. Because some people tried to do that with me. They were like, hey, man, you want to get on a phone call and talk? And I appreciated those people, but I was like, nah, man, I'm just not. I just want to be with my family, my close family, and that's it. I don't want to talk to anybody about anything. I just want to mourn my own way. And when I'm ready to get back to normal life and talk to people, I will. And then I eventually had those conversations with people, and that's it. But everybody deals with grief and loss and stuff differently, man. Everybody's different in that sense. So you can't judge one person for, taking a little bit more time, and then you can't judge a person for immediately, doing work. I'll never forget I had somebody work with me on the Instagram page, and his father had died at that moment when he just came on working with me. And he just worked. He just immediately worked. He just dealt with a little bit of stuff they had to deal with, and he got back to work. And that's how he handled it, which I respect. But it's different, man, for everybody. For me personally, I will take, at least a month off. I'm not going to sit here and immediately get back to work. My life's not that serious to me to where I need to continuously work. And so this touched home with me. And, you can see that Young Thug really sympathizes and says, like, Drake, man, we don't give a fuck about a song music right now. His mom just got murdered. Like, that's the last thing on his mind. And that's where I can see where the relationship went bad, because not to harp back to 50 Cent, but that's really where the relationship with Banks and 50 went bad. Because once Banks' dad died, 50 was like, just let's get back to work, man. Let's keep going. And instead, Banks wanted to just be home and, not do any work. And that's where the conflict between 50 and Banks happened, because 50 was like not really showing emotion towards that. It was like, hey, things happen. And, but 50 had to deal with loss of his mom at 8 years old, and he never met his dad. So to him, it's like parents aren't really a thing to him, really. I mean, it hurt him as a kid, obviously, and it still hurts him to this day. You can tell, but it's a little bit different, until you're a grown adult and you spend a lot of time with your parents. It's a different story. But yeah, this is probably one of the most interesting conversations, and it gives insight to what happened between Drake and Metro Boomin. What was the cause of things going left? And it makes sense. This totally makes sense. And I think Joe Budden blew it out of proportion. People, I'm surprised I never really thought of this being the potential issue that could have sparked Metro and Drake. I don't know why. Maybe because it was such a long time since that, because that happened in 2022, and then their fallout happened in late 2023. So there's a little time and distance between that. But yeah, just an interesting, leaked conversation. Then, Young Thug also says, man, Drake, you could have visited me, or you could have, told the president to petition me and pardon me, use your power, which is something that doesn't really, I don't know, you can't really expect Drake to do that. But Drake did visit Young Thug in prison. Ian Connor leaked audio voice note that he sent Ian Connor that said that, hey, I visited him, and let's just play the clip.
I walked in and he was like, man, what the fuck you got going on, twin? He was like, I never seen this part of the jail before in my life, nigga. He said, they can't got me out my cell. They said, Drake here to visit you. I said, man, y'all nigga trying to break me, man. Y'all nigga trying to drive me crazy, man. It's 9:30 at night. Ain't no way y'all let me have no goddamn visit right now. He was like, yo, man, you motherfucking too big, nigga. He's like, I never got an in-person visit in the jail since I've been in this motherfucker. They said, Drake here, they come get me out my cell. They got me sitting in a damn conference room.
So Drake did visit him, and then in the interview that Young Thug did with Big Bank, he did say that Drake made sure his family was good. He dropped off a bag of money. I don't know how much, but he gave him money and stuff. So Drake was solid in that situation. I don't know how Drake's going to react to that audio, of Young Thug leaking, saying what he said, but hey, that's on Drake to interpret. Now, the next audio that leaked was Young Thug essentially going in on Future, which is crazy because right when Thug got out, the first song that he really released was with Future. The Money on Money You Dig with Future on there, which is actually a fire record. But this is interesting because Young Thug basically disrespects Future and says, you're not a father to your kids. You're out here just fucking with women. What are you doing? Take care of your family, which, hey, that's commendable, somebody to say that. And then he says, Future is just, doing lame shit to him. So let's play both these video clips.
Yesterday let me know, man, you called it the first time. Nigga, what? Yeah, you're right. I called it the first time because I needed to know. But you're definitely right. But it's God just revealing certain things. But I already knew this too, though. Me and him ain't been, you ain't never just paid attention. Me and him ain't been tight in a minute.
Yeah.
And it's because he do little lame junk, call me to the studio. So I pull up to the studio, chilling with him. You asking me what to say on the song and how you should start off your song. Then there's girls in the room. Now you acting like you don't hear me telling you that. Because there's girls in here, like, just like little fake nigga like that, like little stuff like that. I don't be liking that nigga. I'm a player. Like, what's wrong with you, fool? You trying to, I don't know, what image you trying to get off to these girls, but you an idiot, nigga. Like, everything you know a nigga teaching you, I done taught you. Like, cut it out, bro. Like, but nigga just, when he by himself, he just be all ears, bro. Like, and that's the crazy part. Like, when I talk to him about God, when I talk to him about certain things, he just don't know that he retarded to certain things. He don't know nothing but music. And when I talk to him about stuff, he just like all ears. But when every time people around, he try to ignore it. When there's people around, he'll walk off, walk to his room, he do other miscellaneous stuff when people be around us, and I be talking to him because he just feel like, man, you can't be trying to talk to me like that in front of people. But I ain't talking to him no certain type of way. I'm just putting him down. I'm giving him game. Like, yeah, bro, you know, we can't be like that and then be like this because God, this ain't the move. He'll like walk off or he'll fake like he texting while a nigga talking, little stuff like that. So I just stopped going around him a little bit. He's like, bro, what's up with your brother? You don't be pulling up on your brother? I'm like, man, I just don't be with that fake junk, bro. Like, what you mean, nigga? Ain't never about me fake, nigga. I ain't never be fake, nigga. I'm like, man, y'all niggas fake as hell, man. Like, I don't know what nobody doing that in there. Ain't nobody getting nothing but goddamn Pluto. He definitely do it. She probably done killed some of his babies, for sure. She probably done aborted some of his babies, for sure. 100%. For sure. He done took that bitch. Man, we went to Dubai one year. He took that bitch to Dubai with her. Her and Brittany, her and the baby mama. Yeah. I know for sure she don't have some abortion. Yeah.
And the other one, I heard he all the way burnt out.
Oh, definitely.
Like the worst way.
The crazy part is when I became a superstar, I stopped none of them bitches when I became a superstar. I started being like, bitches, I know a bitch gonna try to trick me. I stopped none of them hoes when I became a superstar. These niggas start none of them hoes when they become a superstar. I did it the backward way, like.
Shit, that's how they get their money. I don't know. I know a lot of bitches that done aborted his kids, for sure.
Yeah, man.
Like a lot, too.
For sure. Arabia did. That nigga nuts in Arabia, man. Tripping.
What do he be thinking? I don't understand sometimes. Like,
but that can't come out of there. That shit, he ain't nigga like, I can't come out of there, motherfucker. Oh. Yeah. I'm 38, 39, all the kids grown. I'm just smack straight young shit and none of them hoes. Fuck it. I'm gonna play a rich shit. That shit it's really fire, but it ain't. It should be just like one or two girls like Bob Marley, you know. Bob Marley, well, he had a lot of baby mamas too, though. But he was more like a real father too, though. You know what I'm saying? Pluto got to like settle down and really just be with all the kids. People weren't looking at Bob Marley like, ew, you got 15 kids. You got 25 kids. I think Bob Marley got like 25 kids. People weren't looking at him like he was bad because he was like a real father. He was just like super there and just being a super that, being whatever the best he could be. So women, he wasn't like disgraceful to women. Women wanted to have his kids. Pluto is like, you pushing the P. Bitches want to have your kids and shit too, but you still got to be like 100% locked in with the kids. You like 100% locked in with the bitches. That's the wrong way to go.
And there you go. That's true. You know, you can't be out here, and he's like 40 years old doing this type of stuff. So this is more sense that he made finally in some of these calls. But obviously, this is something that Future is probably not going to want to hear, especially the conversation before where he's talking about Future being, you know, slow in the head, doing lame stuff. That's something that Future's not going to like. And there's more. Young Thug also disses Andre 3000 and J. Cole. So let's play that audio clip.
What is
Why be the biggest artist in the world on YouTube? Why wouldn't J. Cole do a song with him?
That's true.
Like, come on, bro. You ain't never in your life sold more record than this boy, this young nigga. Fuck is you thinking? Like, tripping. Niggas just be on that. Oh, I don't like your music, or I ain't doing no music with you. Man, nigga don't like y'all nigga music neither. Nigga don't really like that shit you talking about. That shit y'all niggas about. Nigga just want to do songs. Nigga just want, like, the game we in. Like, it ain't no, the Atlanta Falcons ain't playing Miami Dolphins because they don't like the Dolphins. Man, we playing everybody. It's the sport we in.
Right.
Andre 3000, you one of the biggest artists in the world. You became one of the biggest artists in the world. But you ain't helped nobody. You ain't put nobody on. Now you vintage. Now you goddamn can't put out a song and go top 50. You see what I'm saying? You put a song out right now, you can't even go top 50.
Right.
But you the biggest artist in the entire world at one point. But you ain't put nobody on though. You ain't did that. Ain't no nigga saying they got a career off of you.
That's true.
Like, y'all nigga ain't help nobody. All that rap shit don't mean nothing, man. In 15 years, that shit don't mean nothing.
First, NBA YoungBoy being bigger than J. Cole is not true. Just because NBA YoungBoy drops a lot of music and they go gold and platinum and that doesn't really make an artist bigger than you. J. Cole, when he drops, he actually sells a lot on one project. That's the difference. Yeah, NBA YoungBoy is huge. But I disagree with Thug here saying that YoungBoy is way bigger than you. You know, why did you want to do a song with him? Like, first off, it ain't even about who's bigger and who's not. That's not about why you should be making music. You shouldn't sit there and be like, as an artist, oh, I'm doing this song with this person because he's bigger than me and he can make me blow up. That's a dumb way of thinking about music in general. You should do music with artists that you have great chemistry with, regardless of how big or how small they are, right? Second, you know, like I said, NBA YoungBoy is not bigger than J. Cole. He doesn't have diamond and multi-platinum records. He's got a few here and there, but a lot of it's just so much music he's dropping that, yeah, one song out of 80 records is going to go gold or platinum. Like, his is just mainly dropping quantity and not quality. And there's a difference between that. But I disagree with, you know, J. Cole can do a whole world tour and sell out arenas. Right now, NBA YoungBoy is doing tours too and doing really well, but I think they're close, but J. Cole is still bigger as an artist. Now, Andre 3000, I don't know who he put on and who he didn't put on. I can't speak on that. Why he's even mentioning Andre 3000's name is beyond me. It's like, what does he have to do with anything? He stays out the way. He plays his flute. Like, it was a random mention, but all this stuff is coming to light, and it's looking really, really weird on Young Thug's end. And what he decided to do is apologize. He said, chapter ended on Twitter, and he said, to everyone involved in this situation, I'm sorry this is happening. I hope you guys can forgive me. I'm moving forward with my life. Thank you, God. So he's basically saying, hey, man, all this stuff that happened, I'm sorry it even happened. And it's a crazy whirlwind of things. Young Thug, he has finally decided to speak on everything going on with the leaks and those audio calls and how he feels about Gunna, how he feels about people in the YSL trial changing on him and snitching and, you know, taking plea deals, stuff like that. He finally speaks on it. And he lets out all of his feelings. He decided to stop by the Perspectives podcast with Big Bank, and he sat down for a 3-hour-long interview. Yes, 3 hours long. And I sat through all of it, and a lot of it was him. It first started out with him just basically talking about his upbringing in life and, you know, what was his, you know, first disappointment in life, what was his first joy in life, things like this. And I think Big Bank did a great job in setting Young Thug up to open up about his situation with Gunna, you know, the whole YSL and how he felt certain people, you know, turned on him over just trying to get free for a couple of months earlier, or a year earlier. And the interesting part about this interview is that, you know, Young Thug just basically tells his perspective, but he also like breaks down why he feels the way he feels. And ultimately he feels like he lost all of his brothers. He feels like all these guys that were around him were his little brothers and that he helped them become successful in life, especially Gunna, because Gunna's the ones that's the superstar in this situation. It's Young Thug and Gunna, and everybody else is kind of the people that are around. And most people don't know them unless you're really, really deep into hip-hop and you're, you know, looking at this case, YSL trial and all that stuff. But Gunna and Young Thug are the superstars in this situation, so obviously more people are going to ask about Gunna and be interested in that. And he talks about Gunna, and he's like, I poured everything into Gunna. I saw him more than I saw my own kids, my own girl, my own family, whatever. He was like, I was with this guy for 10 years straight. So he's like, now that I'm free and I don't have these people around me anymore, how do I move forward? And that's essentially what this whole conversation is. He's lost. Young Thug feels like he's not the same person that he once was. And he's mainly hurt at Gunna not speaking on the situation and really letting the world know, like, I did this because of this. And he ends up crying during the interview because he's like, how are you going to, turn on me after I did all this for you and take these plea deals and go on the stand and say YSL is a gang, and all because you want to get home early. You're not thinking about, what we built as brothers in the situation. So watch the clip, and I'm going to let you guys know what I think after.
Just like, you got to understand, like, bro, I did so much shit, bro. Just like, I raised these niggas, bro. I raised these niggas to, like, honor life, be men. I raised a nigga to be a man, bro. Like, I can't go for what you saying because I know I played a part in raising them. And I ain't never did no whole shit to them. None of these niggas will ever be able to get on your podcast and say, I did.
You was grown when you met these niggas.
No, but I still raised, nigga, I was grown when you met me, but you still raised me in certain ways. I'm telling you, certain ways I look up to you. And you ain't never got no money together. Nigga, I raised some of these niggas and we got money together. That make it even deeper. Yeah. How the hell can you go against the grain? And that's why I look at niggas like you, cause guess what? I respect you cause you don't take nigga sides. You don't do certain things. You tell us what's right and what's wrong. Cause you an older street nigga, you're an OG. You tell us what's right and what's wrong. I live all these morals with niggas who came in the game with me, bro. I teach all these niggas do sucker shit toward me, bro. Every one of these niggas. Anybody you can name who we've been talking about in here. These niggas talk the hoes about me. These niggas do all type of shit. I still love them niggas. I love y'all niggas. Fuck that, man. That's just how he is when it come to girls. It's all right. I love him. That's just how he is. That's just how he is.
But I'm saying, a nigga gonna carry that shit forever, a nigga gonna try to heal. Like, that's all I'm saying. Now, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, how you feel. That's your perspective. We on perspectives. So you give me your perspective on how you feel and how you was raised, the shit you stand on. But how do a nigga move forward? Because a nigga can't, like, that shit, you can see that shit consuming a nigga. Where the music at, Slime? You just play me some hard ass shit now. Why that shit ain't that? The fuck is a nigga thinking about?
Cause I just don't got my twin, bro. I don't got my friends, bro. I'm just fucked up, right? I'm fucked up, bro. The nigga who I be with every day, I don't got him no more, bro. I'm fucked up, bro.
Damn.
I'm fucked up, bro. I don't know what to do, bro. Like, and I ain't lose no nigga to a tragic, or now I lost a nigga to betrayal, bro. You signing that one piece of paper, signing your initials on this one piece of paper could get me a life sentence, my nigga. How you, like, come on, bro. I get a life sentence, all this piece of paper you signed, bro. Just cause you trying to get home fast, or you just trying to get to a hole, or you just doing a certain thing, bro. And you already done betrayed a nigga before, bro.
Damn.
A piece of paper, nigga, you gonna let a piece of paper in all this shit? Nigga, we men, bro. We brothers, nigga. Ain't no nigga in the world making me go against Gunna. No nigga, bro.
Damn.
Nigga, what? Yeah, you been around me 10 years knowing you told on our other brother. You told on Duke. Bro, you told on Duke, bro. What the fuck you mean move forward, man? You want me to just get out of jail like these pussy ass nigga and just go forward and don't speak on shit? Just go forward and live my life. Just woo-de-doo. Yeah, I got blessed. They let me out of jail. Woo-de-doo, woo-de-woo. I can't. I don't know, man.
2 years supposed to be healing, bro. You in there talking
How
shit.
the fuck I'm a heal in the midst of the fire? How I'm a heal in fire?
You trying to block out a lot of shit. You suppressing. That's what they call it.
They're trying to go forward.
Still trying to be Young Thug at the same time, trying to hold up an image, basically.
Being a real nigga, I ain't holding no image.
No, I'm just saying image.
This shit ain't no image. This shit real life.
I'm saying that you ain't hurt though.
Oh, the image of I'm not being hurt for sure.
I'm talking about
I ain't even
that's
know.
An image, because a nigga be hurt.
Yeah, but I ain't never even woke up until right now talking to you and noticed that I was hurt. I ain't never even knew that. Damn. I just thought I was just running around, just living life like, fuck this shit. God just made me a happy person. I'm just happy. I think I'm happy. That's why I just told you earlier when you said, why you ain't just doing what you supposed to do when you got out of jail? What I know you to do, bro. Why you ain't just being Michael Jackson? Nigga, I thought I was. I thought I was happy. Hell, I'm just chilling. I still just wake up some days and get in my feelings about certain shit. Cause I feel like Gunna, you my brother. I love you to death, nigga. Why you ain't gave me an explanation? You know how to get in touch with me, nigga. My daddy put me in your group text. I don't even want you to have my number. My daddy put us in a group text. I called my manager like, hey, who the hell number this is? He goddamn made some phone call. He come back, that's Gunna number. I tell my daddy, man, what the fuck would you put me on text with this nigga for, bro? What the fuck you got going on?
So as you can hear and see, this whole situation got to Young Thug a lot, and he has some valid points, but at the end of the day, like throughout the interview, he mentions like, hey, for Gunna, I put up half, the money for Gunna to buy his mom a house. And for Gunna, I gave, money so he could buy his brother a car, and they don't even know anything about that. Mentioning those type of things, like you did it for a certain reason to bring that up. I think when people do certain gestures and then bring them up later in the public, it's kind of like, what did you do it for? Did you do it because you were actually liking the person and showing love, or did you do it so you can bring it up in moments like these? I do understand where he's coming from. It's frustration, it's disappointment, it's betrayal, all this stuff, but it's better to get everybody's perspective. It'd be great to get Gunna's perspective if he actually ever speaks on it, because the way Young Thug is painting the picture a little bit, he's painting it like he didn't do nothing wrong. And shout out to Big Bank. He actually pressures him like about 40 minutes into the interview. He pressures him and says, why did you even talk to the police? Why did you even have an interrogation? And Young Thug said that, hey, when I talked to them, everything was public information, and I felt like I could help in terms of helping my brother, Pee Wee Roscoe, not get locked up. And I can kind of sway the police out of the situation. On top of that, at the end, Big Bang pressures him and says, hey, why did you say at the end of the interrogation to get your number? And he's like, oh, I was just flirting with the police officer there so she could have my number. And then Doug's like, hey, on audio it does sound bad, but he's like, on video you'll see that I'm talking to the woman police officer and I'm trying to exchange numbers with her because I'm flirting with her. I'm in a cool environment. I'm not really trying to, get the police mad or whatever. That was his excuse, but still, it looks bad. You can see the optics of it. It looks really bad. But Young Thug is kind of having his own perspective on it, and I get it. I get where he's coming from at certain points, but it still looks bad. And it's going to be really interesting to see, how things move forward with Young Thug doing an interview like this. And I feel like he's lost his aura because Young Thug didn't really do a lot of interviews before this. I mean, he did a few here and there, but now that he's like coming out and like kind of defending himself with these like leaks, and then he's talking about other people's cases and snitching and all this stuff, I don't know. It might end up backfiring if, he keeps going on this run, because he said he wants to stop by Adam Ross and go on his stream, and he wants to do more interviews. So I don't know, man. I think it could end up backfiring if he keeps doing this more. It kind of ruins that aura effect that he had. But there's a lot more stuff that's coming out. I mean, there's stuff with him and Drake and Metro Boomin that he's talking about, and then he throws like Outkast, Andre 3000 from Outkast under the bus, and there's a lot of weird moments that throughout this whole leaked conversation that he has that's really a bad look for him. But we'll see what happens moving forward in this situation. What happens next is a Young Thug song leaks, allegedly, and it's a diss track. It's called Closing Argument. It's roughly 5 minutes long. He's dissing directly, by the way, Gunna, Gotti, YSL Obama, everybody had to do with the YSL snitching stuff. He's calling them snitches and rats, and he's basically explaining his situation and why he was in the interrogation room and all this stuff. And I think the diss track is actually not bad. It's not like a bad record. It's not like a really good one, but it's a not bad track. I think if you have to go on media runs and you have to go on Twitter and you have to go on these runs of trying to defend yourself, then you definitely think you snitched. You went somewhere wrong, right? Gunna, everybody called him a snitch. The whole world did, whatever. Never said a word about it. Just moved on. He made some music addressing a little bit of stuff, and that's it. And he moved on from it. If he would have gone on this promo run of like explaining why he snitched, it would have backfired a lot on him. Think about 6ix9ine, right? 6ix9ine gets out, and then he goes on this promo run of interviews and explains why he snitched. And, if that stuff that he was saying was true, I can understand why he snitched. But at the end of the day, people don't want to hear that shit. You're rapping about this gangsta shit and then you snitch. Doesn't make any sense, right? If you're a gangsta rapper, you got to live on the gangsta codes and all that stuff. And that's why it's smart that Gunna didn't do these interviews and these runs where he's explaining the snitching. He just dropped music and just kept it moving. Young Thug, it's not looking good, man. With these interviews that he's doing, it's just not helping his case. It's actually making it a lot worse. I don't know who his PR team is, but they should jump in and say, this is not the way to do this. This is not the way to handle this. We have history proving this is not the way to handle this. Gunna's keeping his mouth shut, doing well. 6ix9ine kept his mouth open and tried to explain his snitching and did horrible after. Not a good look. I don't know what's going to happen moving forward. I think he's going to keep doing interviews because he reached out to Auden Ross. But overall, and then he's got this big bank interview. It's just crazy, man. Let's talk about new music that was supposed to come out. Lil Baby was supposed to release the Leaks album, but that never came out. Drake was supposed to drop a song off ICEMAN. Instead, he dropped a remix track off the Party Next Door album that he did. Justin Bieber dropped the Swag 2 album, delayed, though. He dropped it like a day later. Don Toliver dropped Tiramisu. Trippie Redd dropped World Boss. Ice Cube dropped Before Hip Hop. Lotto and Ice Spice dropped Giat. I don't know what the fuck pronounced that, but Jordan Lucas dropped Never Mind. And then let's talk about album sales. Sabrina Carpenter is number 1, killing it at 357,000 copies sold the first week. And what's interesting is 215,000 were actual physical albums and 141,000 was streams. That is like one of the rare few moments where actually physical CDs or vinyls or CDs are selling more than streams. So she's number 1 with the bullet there with 357,000 sold the first week. K-Bop Demon Hunter soundtrack is at number 2 with 123,000. Morgan Wallen, I'm the Problem is at number 3 with 106,000. Stray Kids Karma is at number 4 with 59,000. Alex Warren, You'll Be Alright Kid is at number 5 with 37,000. Morgan Wallen, One Thing at a Time is at number 6 with 36,000. Gunna, The Last One at number 7 with 34,000. Sabrina Carpenter, Short and Sweet, number 8 with 33,000. SZA SOS, number 9 with 33,000. And BX The Plug, I Hope You're Happy at number 10 with 30,000. Mariah the Scientist, Heart Sold Separately at number 19, 23,000. Party Next Door, Drake, Some Sexy Songs for You at number 21 with 21,000. Key Glock, Glockavelli, All Eyes on Key, which is kind of like the deluxe version of Glockavelli, is at number 30 with 19,000. Offset, Kiari at number 31 with 19,000. Drake, Take Care, number 32 with 19,000. Kendrick Lamar, GNX, number 35 with 18,000. Eminem, Curtain Call, back in the top 50 at number 48 with 16,000. And that's it for today's episode of the Diverse Mentality Podcast. And like I said earlier, I will not be recording these next 3 episodes. So I will be missing Monday's episode. I'll be missing Thursday's episode, Monday's episode, and another Thursday episode. So this episode is Mondays, and then the next one is going to be Thursdays. The next one's going to be Monday. The next one's going to be Thursday. So I'll be missing 2 Thursday episodes and 1 Monday episode. And then I would be back on my regularly scheduled programming. I have to go overseas. It's a must. It has stuff to do with my dad after he passed away, other stuff. So it's not like I'm going there for vacation and to have fun. I'm going there to take care of some business. I'll be there for roughly a week, week and a half, and then I'm back. So appreciate you all for supporting Spotify, Deezer, Podcast, Apple, all that. Have an amazing night, day, whenever you listen to this, and peace.